You're live. You're live. Hang on. Hey.
I thought I could have like, hey, what? That camera's frozen.
That's cruel.
Yeah, that
You're cruel and naughty.
Oh, I'm very naughty. Hello, everyone.
Naughty Jenny.
In your own time,
Naughty Jenny.
Monkey, would you like to settle down? Big hello to you all. It's great to see you again. Welcome once again to the Monday Club here with me, Jenny Kirk. And today, well, of course, the big news is that Stevenson's rocket, the one that we've all been waiting for from Hornby. And as you remember, this is what was supposed to follow hot on the heels of the Triang Special Edition version. Now, I'm just going to get the comments up, so just bear with me for one moment.
There's no bear with you.
The Cupboard Monkey is being desperately annoying, as the Cupboard Monkey always is. Ah, come on, just show me my stream.
Show me the stream. Show me the stream.
Yeah, come on.
Show me the stream. Show me the stream.
There we go. Right. I'll turn the volume down as well so we don't get that howl around that you love so much. So we've got a big hello to Dundee Road, Japa Goosh, I think that is Dave Arama's Models, hi to you.
Look up while you're talking, bring your cat. There you are, so now people can see you.
Give me that. Now, you...
she's using my weapons against me.
Oh no. Big hello to Richard Twiderski, Dave Greening, hi to you, Chris Hales, Heritage Railway, Great Northern 6, David Cook, Southern Train Girl. So it's great to see you all, and welcome to another Monday Club. Yes, the Monday Club, of course, today comes to you in association with Woodland Scenic, makers of static grass accessories, static grass glue, static grass applicators. You're getting a whole static grass theme going on here, but they also do MDF, laser cut bridge kits, resin walls, and a whole host of other things. You'll be able to check them out at the web link down below in the description box, so do go and check them out. And of course, any static grass that you see here on Weir Yard has been applied using the Woodland Scenic static grass applicators and static grass materials. But of course, yes, the rocket, it finally arrived. So here it is in its little book. And one of the questions which actually this has cleared up, there was a lot of debate as to whether the names on the coaches for this set was different to the ones on the Triang set. Some people said, no, they're going to be the same. It's like Times, Dispatch, and I think it was Endeavour, something like that. Well, actually, I can now conclusively say that the names on the coaches on this set are different. That's right, these are 3 different coaches, even though the locomotive appears to be the same. So we've got Renown, Wellington, and Globe. I'm not actually sure how many different coaches with different names the Liverpool and Manchester Railway had, but certainly there's now 6 different ones available. Now, I have been asked, are you going to run this? And the answer is I have had it running, but I'm not going to be running it tonight. And this is because this thing couldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding. But really, it was never intended to, and it's quite nice to see that Hornby haven't compromised the scale aspect of this, the finesse of the model, with actually getting it to run reliably. Now, it does run, but it doesn't weigh enough to really do an awful lot in any kind of slight gradient, and this thing grinds to a halt, and it just sits there with its front wheels spinning. You can't run it pushing in reverse because the coupling design causes the tendency to derail. So essentially, even like Locomotive, it couldn't pull itself up the 4% grade that I use on this innermost track. Now, it probably would have gone round one of the outermost tracks, but it was having issues with, well, the coaches were having issues with some of the point work coming off on that. But they look fantastic. So I've actually put it back into the display case, and I'm quite happy with that. So those of you who are expecting me to be running it, afraid not. The other problem was that DCC decoder choice it's really difficult. The space is so limited. Now, I know that the Hornby 6-pin decoder apparently will just about fit in there. You have to stuff it in. But be warned, A few people have reported that it got so hot with an extended running session that it started to distort the plastic of the water barrel. I tried using a direct plug DCC decoder, and given the space that's available, the Train-O-Matic direct plug will not fit. The lens direct plug I tried will not fit. The Bachmann direct plug will not fit. The Lace DCC direct plug will not fit. You're seeing a little bit of a theme here. The Hatton's direct plug will not fit. The Gauge Master does not seem to want to fit either. It's just basically a case of there's only very, very few chips that will fit in there. And in all honesty, I decided that I was just happy to keep this as a display model. Now, oh gosh, the comments are going up really, really quick. So if you've asked a question, I've missed it. I'm not ignoring you. It's just
what a surprise! Jenny's behind on the comments.
Actually, no, I'm right up to date, so I haven't seen any of the previous comments, and they're just coming through so quickly. We've got 139 people in the stream. It's great to have you all aboard. Don't forget to like the stream, but also share it as well. This is really important to let other people know that the Monday Club is on and everybody is welcome. And the other thing as well is we've got a paypal.me link, and the reason for this is because Super Chat, I know a lot of people in the past have donated via Super Chat. Super Chat, Google helps itself to something like 25% of that. So if you don't agree with Google getting massively richer, then you'll find that the Cupboard Monkey has just put into the comments this paypal.me link, and this is something that a lot of YouTubers are using. And this ensures that if you do decide, you don't have to, this is not...
As always, the show is free.
Exactly. It's free at the point of use, but if you decide that you really want to donate towards the channel, then use the paypal.me link rather than the Super Chat, and then every single penny of what you donate goes to me, and you're not lining the pockets of a multi-billion-dollar company somewhere in a tax haven. Today's beverage of choice is Diet Coca-Cola. We are not endorsed or sponsored by the Coca-Cola Corporation.
Although we'd love it if they wanted to try and join in.
Yeah. However, if they were going to say, well, we'll send you a few cases of free Diet Coke, we wouldn't be saying no. What else? Right, well, the other news, rocket related, is that, of course, that Rails of Sheffield have announced...
Alright, I've got it here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't open that for a bit. Not making the same mistake.
We don't
as
want
last
enough.
night.
Oh my goodness, last night.
Yes, the bedside fountain of lemonade. Actually, the in-bed fountain of lemonade.
I couldn't believe that.
Yes,
I bought some lemonade from the Co-op, a Co-op's own brand, thinking, well, we'll have a bit of a difference from Coke. Opened it up and it went everywhere because they'd over carbonated it. So the entire thing exploded and then it was flat.
Right, J94 asked, did you manage to find out what happened with the Robinson 04? Sorry if this is spammy. No, it's not spammy. The Robinson 04 changed DCC decoders. I don't know. Quite simply, that locomotive, I'm going to have to spend some time doing some slightly more intensive tests, looking for fraying wires, anything like that. In terms of diagnosing it through what current draw it's got, I haven't had an opportunity to do that yet, but it is something that I will be doing at some point. So, no further news on that, to be honest. I'm still waiting for the Hornby replacement TTS sound chip to arrive. Again, I will be investigating that locomotive thoroughly when that does arrive, but Hornby are posting out a replacement, so good customer service from them. Angus's Trains, long time no see. I hope you are well. Angus says, Jenny, sorry it's been a while. Time zone changed in Australia. Ah, right. So I presume you've been watching on the catch-up rather than live. But look, it's great to have you back aboard.
Hello.
Always good to catch you. Jammy Dodger the Gamer, I'm watching you and eating lasagna for tea. We had lasagna the other day, actually.
Yeah, I was going to make another one, but I didn't.
But you didn't. Naive Gauge, I've started on the PIMS this week. Bang got the junction, Carl Braund. Hi all, hope you're well. Tim JD Dowd, Viaduct Central Model Railway, Flymo Chairman 1, Simon Trains MRS. The PayPal is brilliant. Why should YouTube Get a cup from it. Love the idea. Yeah, I noticed it was something actually. The New Junction recommended that. I think Cottesmore did as well.
Yeah, I think he did last week.
Yeah, so there's a few people who recommended that. So I know it's come from Richard Watson over at New Junction. I think Dave Jones at Cottesmore as well also said the same. And it does make sense. At the end of the day, Google doesn't need any more of your money.
PayPal does.
No, but if you do send it friends and family, it doesn't cost.
I don't know if you can do that. I'm pretty sure PayPal will take a little cut.
Well, we'll see.
But it won't be like 25%.
Yeah, that was a bit
Jenny, was there some more news?
Yes, there was. Rails of Sheffield, following on from their Southeastern and Chatham Railway 3D printed vans, are doing the second class open coaches, Liverpool and Manchester ones, in that light blue livery. You'll have seen the reproductions. I think, excuse me, some of them are at Shildon.
We've seen it.
Yeah, we have seen them. But Rails of Sheffield are doing them. They're $39.99, and they have kindly sent us some high resolution pictures. So what we're going to do...
They sent us a high resolution picture.
Oh, I thought there was two.
There are, but the other one is that picture with their text on it with the price.
Ah. So what you're seeing on the screen now, this is the 3D printed second class opens to go with the Rocket. Now I will warn you, the Rocket, well certainly my one that's down here, is not the strongest of pullers. So what you may find that you have to do is to swap out one of the first class coaches. And extreme close up.
Well, yeah, we can have a look around it now.
I'm looking at that CAD actually. I thought that was a picture of the real deal.
It's so well done.
That CAD is actually one of the best CADs I've seen. You can see it's got all the open detail in the chassis with those push rods for the buffers.
It looks almost exactly like basically the bottom of the coach looks like what's in here, doesn't it?
Yes, and it will have been done from close, possibly even 3D scanning of the proper full-sized version of these. So that is available, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing whether there's going to be a lot of people deciding to do an Era 1 Pioneer Railways period model railway. That'd be lovely to see, getting some children's in, dandy carts, that kind of stuff.
Would you even consider it for yourself as a little diorama?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things like resin figures. You can get the period figures now. They're coming through from places like Hardy's Hobbies, Model U, places like that. So the figures for that time period are available. The Cupboard Monkey has this inane grin on her face.
You could do a little diorama of the Rainhill Trials?
Yes.
That'd be
nice. You have
nice.
to make the other locomotives.
Well, it's a project. Someone could try that. Or maybe an early Stockton to Darlington Railway or something. It looks pretty good, that though.
Minnie Wistaston Junction, hi to you. Rachel Houston says, Jenny, did you visit Wardle Road? We did meet up, socially distanced of course, with Wardle Road. We filmed at a 5-inch gauge private railway. It was outdoors, we did socially distance, and it was great fun. So a big thank you to Ollie at Wardle Road for sorting out that invite, and that video is coming up this Friday. Yeah, so that will be this Friday's video, so do stay tuned for that. I had great fun actually. It's an amazing place, probably a couple of miles worth of track trundling around, because there was a double track main line, so you could run 2 trains, one in each direction.
Are we done with this?
We are. So a big thank you to Oliver Davies at Rails of Sheffield for sending
I think that
over.
looks brilliant. We do need to see it.
Whilst I believe that the order books may now be full from Rails of Sheffield for buying them, just as with the SECR vans, if the demand is there, they will do a second batch, maybe even a third batch. So again, it's something to look forward to. It's some exciting technology in a way that it allows some of these more unusual prototypes. Right, I'm going to flick all the way down to the bottom.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa! Belmont Junction has donated £2 on Super Chat. Good evening to you. We were just saying before,
thank you so much.
Definitely, thank you very much. That is ever so generous. One of the things that we're trying to do at the moment is we've got a PayPal.me link. If the Cupboard Monkey wants to
I'll put it back. I'll put the text back in. The agreed text, the ones that you looked at and went, yes,
agreed
that would be acceptable.
But look, thank you very much for that. But we are trialling as well a PayPal.me link. And the reason for that is quite simply because Google takes something like a 25% cut of all money that's donated on Super
Let's not keep talking about that. We don't actually know the percentage off the top of our heads.
It's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that we can't say for certain that that's the amount, so don't keep saying
Anyway,
it.
yeah.
We don't want to get in trouble, Mr. Google.
Melchester Model Railway says, I missed the news about Rocket. Jenny started the stream early. Just to say that essentially, for all those people who've been waiting for the main range rocket to arrive, as you can see here, the main range rocket has arrived. And I was really excited to receive that today. Why am I giving that to you? You're going to hold it up to a camera, aren't you? So the cupboard monkey is showing that to the camera and running the risk of destroying my model in the process.
No, I'm not. If I was destroying your model, I'd do this.
Oi, boo! Don't even jest, because I know how clumsy you are. But yeah, it has finally arrived. Now, I know that a lot of you, like me, have had this on order since the beginning of the year. And the interesting thing, as I said before, the 3 coaches that come in this set are different identities to the Triang Special Edition version of the set. So there is actually room to have ordered both of them. You'll get the same locomotive twice, and it is rather an expensive thing to do. But the coaches in this set are named Renown, Wellington and Globe. Whereas I believe the ones in the first set were Times, Dispatch, and I think it's Endeavour, something like Endeavour.
Oh, that's a shame that they weren't Times New and Roman.
Oh no, cupboard monkey.
Right, I'm going. You don't need me anymore.
I'm
going back to work.
Ian Hilper says, how do you donate? There's a link, literally 2 comments above you in the chat on that. It gives the details.
And it's also in the description bar.
And it's also in the description bar.
I'm not feeling good, so I'm going back down. See you later.
Dave Arama's, see you later, Cupboard Monkey. Cupboard Monkey's not feeling the best, so she's going for a lie down. But Dave Arama's models, Jenny, do you think they would do the Penny Darren by Richard Trevithick? Is that the one that used a rack, sort of like it had like a central cogged wheel, and there was a cog on the rails? I'm not sure about that. I think we'd be more likely to see something like the rest of the locomotives from the Rainhill trials. So Sanspiral, trying to think what the other ones were called. There was the one with the horses on it, which wasn't successful. Novelty and Sanspiral, definitely right. Les Hewitt says, I broke a buffer from one of the coaches when I unpacked my rocket. Sorry to hear that. Very carefully glue that back on, I guess, with super glue. They're not sprung buffers. But yes, the packaging is quite tight, and as you'll see on Wednesday's review of that, be very careful when getting it out. A big hello to Peaks47, and hello Cottersmore. Yes, your ears must have been burning. We were talking about you actually before, because you were one of the people who'd recommended the PayPal.me link, and we finally got that sorted out, so a big thank you to that. Robert Ward says, Jenny, I have the Centenary rocket. It has all the same problems as yours. Great looking model. The couplings are horrendous. Yeah, I can see why they did the couplings the way they did, but what you will find is it's incompatible with any other rolling stock. They do give you 3 spares, which is good because they're probably quite easy to lose. But my clumsy fingers struggle to get it set up. I have to use a pair of tweezers. It's more of a display model, and as I said at the beginning, I am glad that Hornby did not compromise on the finesse of the model, the prototypical accuracy of all the detail and things like that. And effectively, the fact that it runs is kind of I'm not going to say a gimmick, but it's an extra. And I'm glad that they haven't compromised that finesse and prototypical accuracy to make it a reliable runner. I'm glad they've done it this way, if that makes sense, because it's always going to be, I think, for most people, display cabinet fodder. Very expensive display cabinet fodder, but nonetheless, it's one that I am very, very pleased to have.
Jen, just before I head off.
Yes?
You did have I had an idea that perhaps using DCC Concepts Power Bar might give it that power base, might give it that extra bit of oomph to actually get around.
There is that. We did speculate that the DCC Concepts Power Base system that we did review some time back actually, it was powerful enough to get a Hornby X LMY plug to actually run upside down. So that would help a lot, but you still have to find space to glue the magnets on, things like that. So there are ways and means if you really want to get that running reliably.
Right, I'll see you later.
Steve Cortina Cat says, are you going to run it tonight? At the moment, there is no DCC decoder in there. The reason for that is because the correct DCC decoder has eluded us for the task. It's a very tight fit. Now, the Hornby 6-pin should fit in there. I believe that's what it's designed for, but it's a very tight fit, and I've heard word that it can cause heat damage. It causes the plastic to distort. I've seen at least 2 posts from people online about this happening with the special edition versions. So I've decided that because it won't even go up the gradients like Loco, I've decided not to. There are no direct plug 6-pin decoders that I can find that will actually fit in it. So I was able to run it with, when you watch the video, you'll see the decoder, if you look carefully, sticking out the side. I do have a 6-pin wired decoder on order, but it's going to be a tight fit. Ron Stanbridge, big hi to you. We've got Leslie Gilpin. Japa Goosh says, I need a model of Planet. And actually, yes, Planet and the Patentee as well would be good options too. JJ Williams, 1984, payday tomorrow. Hope to buy a J50. Actually, the J50, I've got one over here. The Hornby J50 is a superb model, and at the moment, certainly from a number of different retailers, can be had for, I think I've seen it down to about £59.50. General rule of thumb, don't pay more than £69 for them. They're on offer in a number of different places. I think Rails of Sheffield, it's at about £64.50, but they're a superb model, and you will not be disappointed with that. I've got 3 different ones. I like them that much. I've got 3 different from 2 different production runs. Melchester Model Railway says Hornby should really do Lion from the film Titfield Thunderbolt. Actually, yeah, that is a good suggestion as well. Do a proper Titfield Thunderbolt set. Leslie Gilpin, good advice actually. You can get some 3D printed shells of Liverpool and Manchester locos on Shapeways Nyman miniatures. Yeah, they are out there, and I've actually seen some really interesting 3D printed ones. Big hello, we've got Naive Gauge. Can't see myself ever buying a model loco that does not run, says the man who has spent hours getting his eBay acquisitions to run. Yeah, I think with the Rocket, it was one of the ones I actually did toy. The fact that they came through late gave me a lot of thinking time, and there was a part of me actually considering, do I actually cancel my pre-order and go, actually, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I decided that actually it's one that I would be disappointed if I didn't get. So I went ahead with the one that I pre-ordered from Rails of Sheffield, arrived from the post actually this morning, spent the middle part of today filming, so that's going to go out on Wednesday, and we bumped it up the release queue. Yeah, Japa Goosh says, whoever said Lion from the Titfield Thunderbolt, you are so right. There really needs to be a model of that ASAP. I totally agree with you, actually. That would be a really good one. Dave Don, hi Jenny from Dave, Bolton Model Railway Society. Oh, excuse me, sorry, there's a lot of gas in that coat. Great to see people from Bolton Model Railway Society, and of course don't forget that the War of the Worlds layout, you'll have seen the video on Friday. We moved that to their premises at the Bolton Marketplace, and it's got pride of place actually in the sort of window. It's in a shop unit, and it's in the window, so you can actually go and see it. Not currently running, unless Les has been in and had a tinker, but certainly that is well worth going and having a look if you get an opportunity, if you're in the Bolton area. Yeah, there's a lot of people actually saying about the Lion. That is a really great idea. Angus's Train says, I fitted mine with a decoder from Hornby. It was very tight. Yeah, it's designed for the Hornby 6-pin. As you say, it's very, very tight. And a word of warning. Extended running sessions can cause a heat build-up in the decoder, crushed away tightly into that plastic barrel, the plastic of the water barrel that it's in can start to distort. I've seen at least 2 people talking about that online, so it is a possibility. Be aware of that. Big hello to Somerset Andy. Kingspan Cutting says, hi Jenny, hope everyone's okay. Can't stay till the end tonight as football is on. Yeah, the football has restarted. I hear this football thing is popular. I've never got it myself. Jeff Hammond, Flint's Hills Engage. Hi Jenny and all modelers. Hi to you. Wardle Road is in the house. Good evening Jenny and all in chat. I hope everyone's well. Certainly are actually. And thanks again for that trip out to Cambridge that you organised. Really appreciative of that, and the full video of that is coming up this Friday. Hi to Josh's Trainers. Mark Holt, I've ordered the rocket. It looks nice, but ouch to the price. I wanted 2, but couldn't justify it. I know what you mean. That's a lot of money. Cottesmore says, here's Wardle Road. Have you stopped crying about my S-stock? You know, actually, I'm so glad that I'm not into that kind of thing, because the prices that the S-stock goes for these days is somewhat eye-watering, to say the least. Ben Tullett, hi to you. We've got... what else have we got? We've got a good turnout now, 230 already. AMAC, Lion from Tipfield, but include the coach and I think the GWR 14XX as well. Definitely, yeah. Jackie LFC Gerard. Hi Jenny, how are you doing? Hope you're keeping well. I'm fine from Jackie Gerard. I'm doing pretty well, thank you very much. Despite the lockdown, despite the change in the weather. Actually, we've gone from one extreme to another here in the UK. And I know people from around the world. We've got people in Australia, New Zealand, India, Brazil, USA, Canada, France, Germany. Gosh, we've got people all around the world. It was going, what? Hey, what were you talking about? But in Britain, it's a very British thing to talk about the weather. And we've had some amazing weather. It's been very, very hot. We got up to 32, 33 degrees Celsius, which is actually quite hot for here. The trouble with the UK is it's quite a wet country. So when it gets to that kind of hot, it becomes very humid as well. But we're not geared up to deal with humidity. It's not like when you go to places like Hong Kong or Singapore and everywhere's got air conditioning, so you can escape that oppressive feeling of humidity. Here in the UK, our homes, our buildings just aren't geared up for it. So that consequently, you end up, it's like trying to sleep inside a boil-in-the-bag meal, and it is very, very difficult. And then it's suddenly changed. We've had thunderstorms, torrential rain. We've had hailstorms with hailstones that are like 2-3 inches, massive. I've seen photos of them. Localized flooding as well. And now it's just like constant, unremitting rain. I'm again very behind on the comments. Simon Trains MRS did watch the War of the Worlds video last week. Also like the bonus when you was at Deansgate Station. Yeah, there was a little bit of bonus footage in there that I'd filmed. I do film a lot of bits and pieces. We don't actually always use them. But it's one of the things, you always have your eye for interesting things to film. And occasionally some of those bits and pieces make it into videos. And on this occasion, I just thought it was so interesting just how desolate and empty the world was. Going down into Manchester, I had that train to myself. And it was kind of strange. So I thought that it was worth sharing that, to be honest. Cottesmore says, if in doubt, get a professional to install the DCC chip. Remove the risk of you breaking it. That is true. If you don't feel confident with a DCC fitting, then sometimes it is best to either pay to have it fitted, which can be a bit expensive, or the next best thing is if you know somebody, you've got a friend who is competent and confident with DCC fitting, then it's always worth punting it on and saying, please, could you do that for me? And yeah, generally speaking, they will. If you're a member of a model rail club as well, that's also a good way to get stuff done. Tim J.D. Dowd, what about the white diesel Lion, the one that looks like Hymek? That's already been done in model form, actually, by Helgen. Skip, a big hello to you, says, hello Jenny from Alabama, USA. And I hope everything's going all right for you over there. I know we get sort of like a a different version of the news, so to speak. So currently what's running on the news in the UK is that certain states of America are having a lot of issues at the moment with coronavirus. So I do hope that you are staying safe and staying well over there. New Mills Model Railway. Hornby did do a limited run of Tipfield Thunderbolt train pack with the 14XX and DVD of the film. I've got it, but it's not very impressive. From what I remember, it's the old ex-Airfix 14XX. It's a railroad low Mac with a sort of a coach body just plonked on top, and the railroad version of the GWR Toad brake van, plus that DVD. So like you say, not very impressive at all. Robert Ward says, yes, would definitely like a model of the Tipfield Thunderbolt. This is interesting, actually. Tipfield Thunderbolt, it's Lion, it's the actual locomotive. But certainly, I think there's demand for this. And it'd be interesting to see, will Hornby follow this up next year with a similar Pioneer Era 1 kind of thing? I think you're absolutely right, you guys. Lion, as used in Tipfield Thunderbolt, is a definite must. Wardle Road asks, anyone selling 5-inch gauge S stock complete with pigeons and buskers? That might be a bit big. Actually, no, it probably wouldn't be too big for going around that 5-inch gauge layout. Japa Goosh says, I love the movie packs. I got the Railway Children set from back when I needed the Tipfield Thunderbolt pack. Actually, the Railway Children set, and that is one that I kind of wanted, had my eye on, and now I've left it a bit too late. AD Pullen asks, I wonder why Hornby didn't do a second third-class blue coach for the Rocket. I think the reason for this is that the pack is actually, it's a centenary year thing, and it's paying homage to the original Triang version. So what it has in is what the original Triang version had. So that's the reason why that, as far as I'm aware, Triang did not do the second-class coaches. David Kellett says, the Rocket wagon from Rails of Sheffield is now unavailable as it's all sold out to pre-orders. Do keep an eye out, and I will pass the news on if I get it. It's certainly one, I know from speaking to them, if the demand is there, they will do another batch and another one after that and so forth. That's what they've done with the SECR vans, so this is something that, keep your eyes skinned, and it may even be worth dropping an email to Rails of Sheffield and perhaps seeing whether they can notify you when they're doing another batch, send you out an email so you're forewarned, forearmed to trying to pick up one of those. Thank you, Flymo Chairman 1, for saving the link to the paypal.me. I do need to find a way of keeping track of that because I don't actually have a way of thanking people. So look, a big thank you to everybody who may or may not be donating with that. It's just simply, it was a recommendation. I think it was Cottesmore recommended this a couple of weeks ago. I know New Junction has also recommended it, and maybe even a couple of other people. And it's what all the cool kids are doing. So that's the reason for that. It's not a money grubbing thing. And like I said before, the Monday Club never ever feel obliged to donate any money. We're not touting for money. It's free at the point of viewing. We've got 250 people in the chat. It's great to have you all in. Don't forget to tickle the like button and share the stream too. Let everybody else know that all are welcome here. And I know I'm well behind on the comments. I'm going to have to do that and scroll through thing in a minute. But because people always ask, and I haven't actually name checked what the locomotives are, here you'll see on the main screen we've got, it's actually the National Railway Museum edition of D8000 in the gloss green. Not normally a one for gloss colours, but with this I made an exception because it's exactly the same livery and look as the Hornby 00 Class 20 that I grew up in. Actually the same identity, D8000. That's chugging around, and it's got a Hornby TTS sound chip in. If I find that, where is it? And funnily enough, the Class 20 TTS sound chip is one of the best that Hornby have done, I have to say. And I've fitted two of them to Bachmann Class 20s, and as you can hear, possibly, that is actually a really good sound coming from it. Can I get it to notch up? So there are a number of different sound effects. But I'm going to turn it off because I find that this sounds a little bit repetitive after a while. But the Class 20 TTS sound chip is well worth getting if you find it. So that's going around with a couple of Bachmann 57-foot Mark I Suburban coaches in BR Maroon. On the outermost track, just coming round, you'll be seeing it over here somewhere. We have got a Bachmann, I think it's a standard Class 5 460, going around, pulling a pair of Hornby Gresley full brakes in BR Maroon and a whole load of conflat eggs with various containers on behind that. And then we've also got coming around here Prototype Deltic, another National Railway Museum exclusive, with a mixed rake of all Hornby coach. And that's actually the rake that I fitted with Hunt couplings. And they really do quite well, I have to say. I've been very impressed with the Hunt couplings. I know a lot of other people have been. There's a lot of great reviews of those products. And they keep selling out. Last time I spoke to Chris from West Hill Wagon Works, he said they just keep selling out. They can't make them fast enough. Now we've also got, you'll see it coming round just on this track over here. We have a Bachmann, I think it's a K3 260, or is it a K2 or a K1? It's a K something. It's a 260 Mogul. And that was one of the bargain locomotives. They still actually, I think, have them at Rails of Sheffield in their bargain section. And it's a really good performing loco. It really has grown on me an awful lot. And they doing it in the BR black livery with the early totem and also LNER black as well. And is that all? Yes, that's all of the locomotives name checked. So I'm going to scroll down, and like I said, if I miss out any of your questions or your comments, I'm not ignoring you. It's just simply these come in far faster than I can scroll through them. So, I will just read out a couple of these before I suddenly scroll through. Mike and Sue Putnam Junction. Hi Jenny and all. Finally found out how to comment. That's all right. It's great to have you aboard. I know there's a lot of people who just like to listen, and that is absolutely fine. But it's equally, anybody wants to leave a comment in the chat. It's great. We're building the community, and that's what it's all about. And we've got St Mary Church Model Railway. Hi Jenny, just listening in. Stuck in work again from Stuart. I'm sorry to hear that. Mark Holt said, when I said ouch at the price, I was on about the rocket truck. Ben Tuller, talking of limited edition, Hornby Centenary Locomotive, the Smokey Joe limited edition, is also a great little model. And definitely an awful lot of people, I believe it was introduced in 1980, if memory serves me correct. And funnily enough, there was Smokey Joe, but there was also like a maroon one, and it was called Desmond, and Desmond was actually the one that I had as a kid. I did look it up, so if you had a Desmond, then that's from the same era as Smokey Joe, although Smokey Joe seems to have captured the imagination. And of course, you know, 1980, for a lot of people, that was their childhood model railways. There's a lot of memories in some of these things. Right, I'm going to scroll through, and Flymo Chairman 1, definitely hit that like buttons. FMR Model Railway, big hello to you, great to have you in. FMR Station House, keep calm and make stuff. Have a YouTube look, Mega Points, do loads of vids on their projects. As I said before, actually, I'm quite happy for people to plug their YouTube channel once. Don't spam the comments because the mods will come down on you like a ton of very heavy stuff. But plugging it once, that's fine, and I'm quite happy to let the community plug itself because there's a lot of great channels out there. Leo asks, do you make your own scenery? I very much do, and there's a lot of videos on my channel if you go back to show you various things. In fact, I'm going to get the roving cam out. Now, I'm afraid there's a few lockdown pounds gone on here, so I'm going to try not to show off my flabby belly. Oh, that's all tendrils. Let me just put that away up there. Yeah. And also I'm reminded by nearly knocking this off, don't forget that the Jenny Monday Club merchandise is available. You'll find a link at the bottom to that as well, including these stunning mugs, and you can get them in a range of different colours, so pretty much every region is available. You've got Scottish region, Southern region, Northeastern, Northwestern, Midland region, all of those different colours are available. And there's also, I think we've got some coasters, stickers as well, so you can show your love for the Jenny Kirk channel by getting a sticker and slapping that on a window somewhere. Slap it on somebody else's window. I don't care. Oh, I'm a meanie. Right, let's put that back. And let's get the roving camera in. So people were saying about, do I make my own scenery? Very much so. And actually, it's the part of railway modelling which I love the most. And that's the important thing you've got to remember when you're making models, when you're doing anything model related, not just model railways, you know, war game, war miniatures. If you love doing something, then do it and do lots of it. But if there's something that you don't like, don't do it. This is supposed to be a fun hobby. Let me just find, where's the slot? There we go. Right, just plug that in. This hobby is supposed to be fun, so if there's something you don't actually enjoy doing, if you can find a way of avoiding that, yeah, hobbies are supposed to be fun. But for me, I do enjoy making the scenery, so let's just see if we can get the roving cam up and running. Yeah, we can. So this area here, oh, I'm holding it upside down, so it would help if that was the other way up. This was one of my builds, little 009 diorama, that's all in there. But actually, I think the one that I've been sharing a lot online is the Bachmann Scenecraft Tabernacle, and that was a new word on me. I've been using a lot. You know what it's like when you get your magical mystery new word and you use it to death. I'm like a 6-year-old child that's found a new word. Tabernacle, which appears to be like a Methodist chapel, something like that. I had to look it up online what tabernacle meant, and I'm still none the wiser, it has to be said. But the bank behind as well. Now this was done with Woodland Scenic. So I'll disappear from the little thing in the corner because hold on a moment. Sorry if anybody's getting motion sick. But this area here. And it's going to be the subject of an upcoming video. So you can see that, actually if I get too close it kind of ruins the effect. I've been working on this bank and I've used some seagrass trees here. I did a video actually for Hornby magazine on making those. I don't know if it's gone live yet, but certainly check out the Hornby magazine website. At some point there'll be a video, if it's not already gone live, on making stuff like that. But then we've got the retaining wall there. Particularly pleased with vegetation stuck to the wall actually. But the tabernacle, and it's all nicely blended in. It just shows, it's nice to be able to make a little scene like this around a building. And the whole purpose of this scene, if I pull back, is because I added all these drawers. And you can see here, they've all got stuff in. So there's a whole load of locomotives in most of these. Got to be careful doing that one-handed because you don't want to knock everything over. And there's lots of stuff as well, like, everyone remember Hornby 00? Look at that, loads of Hornby 00. Let's open this one up, more Hornby 00. So yeah, my first love, Hornby 00, is made here. And these were just simply a case of salvaged from my parents' loft, train room loft. They're planning on moving. So I wasn't going to let these go to waste, so rehome them. But I needed to build on top something just to cover it. So I extended this bit of the layout, and I decided to use the chapel, the tabernacle, as the focal point for this. And I think it's worked out all right. One of the other bits which I'm quite keen on, and I'm quite happy with, is the suggestion of ruts in the road. And I did get asked about this. When all this is still wet, I mean obviously it's bone dry now, but you mix up the glue and it's a bit like ballasting. It stays wet for a bit before it sets, and whilst it's still wet, you can get one of these Oxford die-cast vehicles, and you just kind of roll it through. The wheels on these do go round, and it means that you get these sort of tyre tracks left in. You then leave it be, let it set, and these ruts are now absolutely solid. So that's some of the scenery that I've been working on. Right, let me just let's get up a different angle. So There we go. Right, yeah, so that was somebody asked about if I made my own scenery. Certainly do. Love doing that. It's an area of modelling that I find that I just really enjoy, just making scenery. You know, and that's what this hobby is all about. AD Pullen says, sorry Jenny and crew, I gotta go, keep safe, bye for now. Look, you take great care of yourself, and hopefully maybe catch you next week on the Monday Club. I know that a lot of people very busy, so you can dip in and out, absolutely fine. And of course the Monday Club goes up as a full video after the stream, so you can catch up with it, you can re-watch bits, you can catch up on any bits that you may have missed or want to see again. Let's have a look. What have we got? Humanicity says, oh, just saying hello to Kelly. So a big hello to Kelly Ashford. The 700 shunter. My model railway is dismantled and undergoing redevelopment. As it's one of those things, isn't it? Certainly, I know Les Cliff as well has a lot of issues because he's having to clear out where his model railway was, because it was in the basement of his shop. So at the moment, he's basically everything's packed up. So he's in the same boat. So I do sympathise. Robert Ward says the tabernacle is based on the one at the Midland Railway Centre, Butley. I did not know that. Thanks for letting me know. Fat Wallet Boy 2. Jenny will not acknowledge many messages as she gets so many. Unfortunately, that is absolutely true. It's not because I'm ignoring stuff. It's simply because they come in so fast. And if you ever go on a live stream with any other YouTuber, the bigger the YouTuber, the more manic it gets. And I've actually seen a live stream with a YouTuber who's got something like 4.3 million subscribers, and you can't even read the messages. They're like that. So it's just, unfortunately, it's these things can be a bit tricky. What have we got now? Richard Swiderski says, oh no, either the engine. Actually, yeah, either the engine, but you'd have to license that. I think that it would be, yeah, I'm not sure. Just give me a moment. What have we got? Have a look. DL Warren, I think tabernacle might be Mormon. I believe it's Jewish actually. When I looked it up, the original tabernacle, and this is just because I wanted to know what it meant. So I looked it up, and according to Wikipedia, which I know isn't necessarily the font of all knowledge, it's something to do with when the Israelites were kind of wandering in the desert, and that was where they kept the Ark of the Covenant. Think, you know, Indiana Jones. It was like a tent. It was basically their mobile place of worship, I guess. And that appears to be what the tabernacle is in the Jewish faith, but it also cropped up in the Methodist faith as being kind of this font stroke pulpit thing. In the Methodist faith, so it's I'm none the wiser, to be honest with you. Absolutely none the wiser. Kelly Ashford says, why does Jenny never notice me till halfway through? Basically, because the comments, like I said before, go up so quick. I'm not ignoring things. It's just simply a case of it's so difficult to keep ahead of stuff. Melchester Mogorella says tabernacles are usually evangelical churches of some description. Interesting. I know that the tin chapels, like Bachman have got the tabernacle, but also I think Hornby have one announced in the 2020 range. I've not seen it turn up yet, but certainly there's one announced. They always remind me of the kind of tin churches that you used to get, certainly in South Wales, in the early 80s when I was living in South Wales in Ystradunlais. I do remember places like that because they used to have Sunday schools, and believe it or not, Little Miss couldn't give a flying hoot about religion. Used to get sent to a Sunday school, probably because Mum and Dad went, hey, there's a Sunday school, we can get rid of the kids for an afternoon. So I remember we went to a place like that, and I can still, in my memory, I can still smell what the place smelled like. It's very, very peculiar. Right, I'm going to have to chug down to the bottom because let's have a look. McBenman 1. Hi Jenny, how steep was the rack rail on Biggest Little Railway? It was about, I would guess, 1 in 1, something like that. Maybe even 2 in 1 or 1.5 in 1. It was very steep. In fact, it was so steep that the problem was that the locomotive stalled. It physically couldn't pull itself up. So there was a lot of issues with that, but it was the actual slope that you see it going up was so steep that you kind of had to scrabble yourself up there, and you couldn't easily walk up that slope. Kelly Ashford says diesels are always slow as snails on Jenny Railway, and so they should be. Au contraire, we can let's have a look. We can put a bit of additional speed through. So somewhere, 2 diesels have just sped up. Well, they're supposed to have. There we go. Actually, that's a bit fast. The trouble is, when they go fast, the wheels sing a bit on the rail. So there we are, a really fast express. Actually, that does look good behind the Deltic, doesn't it? I love that Deltic. Now, other news, before I forget. I did ask around the different I'm going to slow that down actually because that is quite loud. I did ask around the different manufacturers about whether there was, any news on upcoming products. There is a lot of stuff in the pipeline, so I know from Daycore, I know from Helgen, I know from Oxford Rail, and I know from the Curascale there's stuff in the pipeline, but it's not public yet, so they went, give it a few weeks and we can tell you something. But Helgen did say that the O-gauge Class 37s, I think it's the split-nose Class 37s, are on their way, as are the double O cargo wagons. So that's the only hot-off-the-press news that I can glean at the moment. But watch this space. As soon as we do get news about new products, we will keep you informed. And a big, big thank you, of course, to Ben Jones at Helgen, Scott Rhodes at Oxford Rail, Neil at Daypole, and Fran at Curascale for keeping me in the loop on information on stuff. Naive Gage says, what is the situation on stock levels of Pico track? Now, as far as I understand it, I've heard from Pico, production has restarted, but as you can imagine, over this sort of 3-month period, any stocks of Pico that were out there in model shops has all been snapped up because people were buying more for lockdown because they had modelling projects on the go, and Pico weren't producing anymore, so all the stocks are depleted. And when I spoke to Jack Morgan at Hattons, he said it is coming in, so don't be thinking that it's always showing out of stock. Where is it? It's coming in and going straight out, and it may still be an element of that, and essentially it's just a case of keep hunting because it is being made by Pico, but the demand has been increased by a lot. Aiden's Railways. It's always funny in this house if Jenny reads out one of my messages because my daughter runs around the room screaming with excitement. So Aiden's Railways, I have just read one of your comments, so I can imagine somebody running doing laps going, yes, oh, Jenny read my comment out. Donegal Dad, hi to you. What's we got in here? Andrew Davis, Jenny, enjoyed the push-pull train video. When did you try any other engines? Funnily enough, no, I didn't. But I do know from having tried really long trains before that a lot of other locomotives, when used singly, do max out before you get to that length of train. So things like the Bachmann 25s, the Helgen 26s, locomotives like that, which are really good haulers, won't haul that much. But I should probably try with something like Class 37s, 45s I've been able to get to stall out. So I haven't tried others, but I do know there's a lot of locos that just wouldn't. Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider, says Humanity Junction. I usually just watch a bit on this stream, but thought I would sneak in for a change. Well, look, it's great to have you in. I hope you're all well. I hope everybody is well. We're still in strange times, aren't we, with the lockdown stuff, but model shops are starting to reopen. socially distanced, but in the UK, I don't know how it is around the rest of the world, but I do know that the UK was at the 2 metre, which is 6'6", social distancing was at the upper end of what other countries were doing. It's been reduced down to 3 foot 3 inches, which is 1 metre, as from the 4th of July, which is this coming Saturday. So that should bode well for a lot of model shops, but even so, it is recommended that if you can do mail order is probably the way to go. Ben Tullett says, Woodland Scenics have just released a load of modern image, brackets 1970s to 2000s, HO scale cars with lights. I might have requested they work with Bachmann to create some OO scale vehicles. That would be nice actually. Woodland Scenics has a great range, and they are a separate company as far as I'm aware, but they are distributed by Bachmann. So there's a tie-in, but they are a separate company as I understand it. I love the Woodland Scenics range. The problem with Bachmann in the UK, it may be different in America and elsewhere, but in the UK, Bachmann are rubbish at replying to emails and stuff and doing social media. So finding anything out is almost impossible. And, you know, I work now with pretty much every other major manufacturer, and a lot of them, the smaller manufacturers as well in the UK, and I still cannot get a reply out of Bachmann. And yes, I did try last week again, sent an email, got nothing. Crossways Point Junction, big hello to you. Dave Ramos model, Evan, we've already name checked it. Kelly Ashford, I hope I get brownie points for saying chuff chuff toot toot. It always works. Chuff chuff toot toot. Ben Man One says, hi Jenny, was it risky to run the locomotive on the steep hill? I'll be honest with you, that locomotive, the Silver Lady, got absolutely beaten to death. And the locomotive that ended was more spare parts than original Loco. And it's not something that I or anybody else should do with their locomotive. They are very expensive locomotives. But, you know, TV program, they do their own thing. The 700 Shunter asks, what locomotive would you like to see done in a pre-grouping livery? Now, it's interesting, a lot of people think pre-grouping liveries are really ornate, but they're not necessarily so. So things like the London and North Western Railway G2A, being done by Bachmann, I know that the firebox top is wrong. It should have a earlier firebox top in London and North Western Railway livery, but it's actually plain black. It's actually quite a boring livery. Same for the Q6, I believe, in North Eastern Railway black. Would it actually be quite a boring livery? Other pre-grouping livery locomotives. J15 in Great Eastern Railway blue. I think that would be a good seller, actually. I'm sure that maybe a preserved one yeah, I'm sure a preserved one may have carried that livery. Jay says 3 foot 3 inches is 1 metre. Actually, no, it's 3 foot 4 inches because a yard, which is 3 feet, is pretty much 90 centimetres, and an inch is 2.54 centimetres. So yeah, approximately 3 foot 4. But to be honest with you, anybody who's going around with a measuring pole going, I just got to measure that. To be honest, they're a super spreader. I'd stay well away from them. Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider, model railway, Andy, why? What have you heard of? Tick tick, just fine. How are you? I'm going to have a quick flick through. Let's have a look. TM Perry, big hello to you. Good to see you in. Ham Shackleton, hello to you. Crossways Point Junction, thanks for the shout out. You're absolutely welcome. Wardle Road again, yeah. Dave Arana's models. Jenny, you said you lived in Wales. Did you ever see the Merthyr Tydfil station up there? As I'm scratch building it for my layout. Not Merthyr Tydfil, I have to say. I was very, very young, as in sort of like infant school age. and we lived briefly in Ustragun, lads. And believe me, it's not spelt like that. You need half a pint of phlegm if you look at how it's spelt. Near Glanreed, Morriston, where else was there? Glanreed, Morriston, Lower Cumtoch, that kind of area. And there's a name that's on Ustlavera. Around that kind of area was where I was living. Hence how I can pronounce all these place names. But Yachavi Neville to Robert Woodhouse says Rob's in the house and has smashed the like button. Who's in the house? Rob's in the house. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. There's too much caffeine in that, it's going straight to my head. Let's have a look. Humanicity Junction says, Jenny, what is one thing on your layout that when you look at it you say to yourself, what was I thinking? Yeah, there's probably a lot of things. Certainly on previous layouts I've had what on earth was I thinking moments. But on this layout, I guess, and we're going to have to go back to the roving camera for this. So let's go roving cam. What was I thinking? It's just, yeah, that's just coming up. What was I thinking? I'm looking around actually. I've not done too bad on this layout. Let me just, if I point out this building here, that's probably the closest I've got to what was I thinking. It's made out of the super quick island platform buildings, 3 of the 4 buildings across 2 sets, along with a Will's platform canopy kit. And it was just simply a case of I had those bits and pieces knocking about. So I think that's probably as close as I get. I'm just looking around for other things. I've not done too bad actually on this layout, not done too bad. It's actually very difficult to keep this pointing in the right direction. Oh, that'll be why. There we go. So let's go back to... There we go, I can put that down. But yeah, that's probably as close as I get to a what was I thinking moment. Viaduct Central Model Railway asks, what is the best BR Black Loco you have got, Jenny? I really like the Robinson 04s. I'm looking at 3 of them here. I've got 5, it has to be said. But I particularly like 63743, which is the Hatton Special Commission. Other BR Black Locos. I actually also like the ex-Lancashire and Yorkshire Pugs in that livery. I've got 2. Yeah, I've got 51222 and 51218 in that livery, and I do quite like them. Let's have a look. Paul Gardner, hi to you. T.M. Perry says, just dropped a like. Boom! Thank you very much. And of course, everybody, it's great to see you. And don't forget to tickle that like button if you haven't already done so, and share the stream, let everybody know that we are not only are we live, but everybody is welcome to the Monday Club. Peaks47, hi to you. McBenman1, hi Jenny, what is your favourite steam locomotive? Oh, people always ask me this, and it's always the same one, the Brighton H1 Atlantic in London, Brighton and South Coast Railway, Burntumber. And it's a Bachmann model, and it really tickles the ooh shiny button. Mike and Sue, Putnam Junction, how's the garden layout going? I've not done anything, it has been said for a while. It needs a clean more than anything. It's part buried in leaves. Abrams Railways. My daughter leaves junior school this year so she can officially be called a lockdown leaver. And I'm sure right now Aiden's Railway's daughter is doing another lap of the living room, probably with a jumper over their head going, yay! Because I've mentioned that comment. Peter Leyland says, the Methodists just borrowed the name Reed Tabernacle, but as you say, the Hebrews used them as large tents in the desert after coming out of Egypt. Yeah, that's what I found from Wikipedia as well. Kelly Ashford says, wow, I can't hear any steamy sound, I only want it for a few minutes. There are no sound-fitted locos on the track at the moment, I'm afraid, so... yeah, I'm afraid that there is no easy access sound fitted steam locomotive. So sorry about that. What else have we got? Ronald Moritz says, "Hi Jen, hoping to go to my local model shop on Saturday to get my Class 29 and possibly a pint." Your model shop does pints. I know what you mean. Go to the pub as well. But yeah, the Daycore Class 29, I've got one knocking about somewhere. It's a great locomotive. Did a review on that, and I still rate it at the moment as being, it's up there as a contender in my book for locomotive model of the year. And it'd be interesting to see towards the end of the year, sometime in December, I will do a roundup and it'll be like the top 10 best, top 10 worst, or top 5 best, maybe top 5 worst locomotives of the year. Although actually I'm not sure I'll do the top 5 worst. It always seems very insincere because that's not what I'm about, dissing models unnecessarily. Wardle Rose says, "Kelly, as mentioned before, Jenny doesn't do the steam sound as it's too loud." Very true. I mean, at the moment we've got there is a Class 20 with a TTS sound in, but the noise just gets too much, unfortunately. Josh's train room says, "I see the TARDIS." Yes, the TARDIS is definitely about. I'm surprised that the cupboard monkey hasn't. Let's see, will that show up on that shot? I'm surprised the cupboard monkey hasn't been moving it around. Yeah, you can just see it there, and put it there. So there we are. The TARDIS is about. It's a bit of fun moving the TARDIS around. It's the one building that's not actually glued down, so it can be moved around. Peaks47 says, "Spam for Steam." Kelly Ashford says, "Party pooper." Yeah, I know. But it's just one of those things. There's none to hand, to be honest with you. Jay says the sheep are cute. They are actually those. If we go back to that shot, those sheep are the Hornby Scale Scenics, or the Scaledale ones. They come on like a card backing. I think you get 10 in a pack, so there's a couple of sets there. But I really like them. They've got the real. They captured the pose quite well on those. I personally do think. No, I don't want that angle. I'm going to go for angle number 2. There we are. I think that camera is slightly misaligned. So let me just adjust. There we are. That's. Oops. Yeah, that's a little bit better actually. I've just moved it around, and you can start to see. Actually, these sidings here are now appearing in shot. So lovely jubbly. Ben Tullett, "I've realised that Jenny hasn't got a station on her layout." Yeah, we discussed this on previous streams. The reason for that is I kind of got stationed about my system. My previous layout, and there are videos of it on YouTube knocking about, was a model of, well, inspired by Bolton Trinity Street Station in about 1979-1980. And I'll be honest with you, I just hankered after building a marshalling yard. So Weir Yard is a hump marshalling yard with the hump over here alongside me, and then we've got like the lower yard, the upper yard. We've got the northbound and southbound receiving signs. Everything is here, even a TMD. So there's a whole lot of stuff here, and I just really wanted to build a goods yard. Maybe my next big layout will have a station. I don't know. Nick Neumann, "A few weeks ago I got a lecture from the bank clerk who thought my presence at the bank was unnecessary. I did report this to the manager, who apologised. Has the world gone mad?" I know what you mean. It's there's a lot of people who've been given pseudo power, perhaps. But yeah, it's like at the end of the day, it's like I'm at the bank because I need to be at the bank. Like, believe me, if there was another way of doing this, I'd be the first to be doing it in that other way. Jamie Smith says, "My limited edition rocket finally arrived today. Yay." Definitely, yeah. As I was saying at the beginning of the stream, mine has 2. I filmed a review of it. Not a great runner. I believe everybody's saying the same about theirs. Not a great runner, but actually I'm really happy that Hornby didn't compromise the adherence to prototype to make it a good runner. I think that actually they've made the correct choice on that. So I'm quite happy with that, has to be said. Naive Gauge asks, does anyone want to recommend N-gauge steam locos with pulling power? I would have thought that, it's steam locos. I can't help you there, I'm not up on the world of N-gauge. Crossways Point Junction, Jenny, are you putting any steam engines on with sound? Okay. Right, steam engines with sound. What have I got? Somewhere in this rolling metropolis that is... There we are, there's one. I think this one's got sound. So, we will... I flipped. No, I haven't. No! Let's see. Give me a moment. I'm trying to set up the track. Oh. Right. Alright. Let me just work this out. Aha! Gotcha. Just trying to work a route out for this. This is a steam loco with sound because I'm being mithered. So this is a schools class from Hornby, one of the super detail ones. In there. I haven't actually run this in quite some time. And it's got that awkward tender drawbar mechanism that doesn't really quite work. Is that on the track okay? Right, so number 903. 903. Can you guys hear that okay? Dead spot on the track. So there we are. Briefly, ever so briefly, we're going to run a steam loco. There's any easy ones to actually. Which one's so 7659. See, this is the fact here. This is the fact. See, I'm good to you, aren't I? I'm going to take this one off. Put that down there for now. And always, just as I want to put something on the track. Look at that, another train goes past, getting in my way. So let's just try and get this back on the track over here. So. That's 903. There we go. So there's a train now chuffing. Right, Clive Cobold. Hi Jenny, great video tonight. I have finished the first of my BR Mark IIc coaches conversions today from Lima Mark IIb, FO, TSO, BSO. Oh, well done. I must admit, rolling stock and locomotives actually doing conversions and kit build. It's an area of the hobby which I'm just not very good at, don't enjoy doing, but I have utmost respect for those of you guys who do. Because there's some great models being made out there, and it must be very fulfilling. I know from when I do scenery, when you see the finished scenery and you think, I did that, I guess you guys get the same buzz from seeing a coach conversion, a wagon build, a locomotive build, that kind of thing. And you think, I've done that, and that's unique to my layout. So kudos to you, sir. Simon Trains MRS, when people ask me what my favourite locomotive is, the easy question to ask but difficult to answer since there's so many locomotives online. Yeah, and you could answer and say, well, all of them, otherwise I wouldn't have bought them, would I? Let me just put this away so it doesn't get trodden on. There we go. Oh, boy. That's embarrassing. That is the lockdown pounds on there. It is quite embarrassing. I've had too much caffeine. I've got my jiggle on. Jiggly, jiggly. Jiggly, jiggly. Tim's Trades. A big hello to you. Looking to do a 1980s era layout. What first diesel would you choose, Jenny? It has to be a Class 25. I'm quite happy, actually. Oh, there's none on the layout. They're all down there somewhere. I'm quite happy with the Bachmann Class 25s. I know that there's a Helgen one on the way. But there's a lot of the Bachmann 25s, and I think that no layout would be without a Class 25 for the 1980s. That said, I also like the Class 8s. Again, plenty of choice. And Class 3s have a peculiar jaunty charm to them too. So yeah, I guess pick any one of those three. Class 25, Class 8 or Class 3 for a 1980s BR balloon. Hello to Fraser Cottrell. Kelly Ashford now, she tells me the steam is running, aren't TTS sound fitted? I've just put one on for you. I know I'm well behind on here. Garthian said the Garrett should be in the top 10. Actually, the Garrett was very impressive, and a big thank you again to Garthian, who donated the money to make that possible on this channel, so I'm forever in your debt for that. McBenman1 says, everybody crushed the like button. Well said, sir. Well said. On message. 57305 Northern Princess. I've decided not to model London Underground, but will still model Great Central as if it was never shut. This due to the S-stop models being bloody rare. Yeah, and that explains the laughing face from Wardle Road. Yeah, there's a saga going on with S-stop. David Ramos models. Jenny, I'm going to love you more now because you live in Wales, or lived in Wales. Yes. I'm half Welsh, so if I slip that way, then that's because I grew up in Wales and I went to a Welsh school, and then I went away and I got a Manchester accent. I'm going Scouse there for a minute. I got a Manchester accent by over there, and then I went through elocution and worked with the BBC, and I got received pronunciation drummed into me, and that's why I no longer have a Welsh accent. Aiden's Railways. Jenny, would you recommend the TTS A4 decoder? Debating if I should get one for my new Hornby 00. Sir Nigel Wesley said. Yeah, and the TTS decoders, I actually do quite well. The A4 one, I have several dotted around, not necessarily all in A4, so I've got one A4 that's sound fitted. And yeah, the TTS sound chips are pretty good. I know we had a Castle one below mysteriously, but when you consider that I must have 20 or 30 sound chips, Hornby TTS sound chips, I'm not doing too bad, I guess. And Hornby did come straight back and say, yeah, it shouldn't have done that, really sorry, we'll send you out a replacement. So I can't say fairer than that for them. Greg Palmer says, doesn't the TARDIS move itself about? No, normally it's cupboard monkey powered. J94 question, what loco would you get in any gauge that very loco's not been made in any gauge? Can be for everyone. That's an interesting question. I think that for me, at the moment, the locomotive that does interest me somewhat is the J92. And if you don't know what the J92 is, it's a crane tank. I think it's an ex-Great Eastern Railway, or it might even have been a North Eastern Railway crane tank. Quite long lasting. It lasted through to British Railways days, but it's certainly something I've never seen that model ready to run. And I think that in this ever-diminishing pool of well-known and easily identifiable locomotives, a J92 crane tank excuse me, would actually be a very eye-catching model, and it doesn't matter that a lot of people go, never heard of that one. The fact that it was long-lasting, so you've got pre-grouping liveries, LNER liveries, and BR liveries for that, does actually mean that you've got a lot of scope, and I think Rule 1 would apply in the same way that the rocket sets from Hornby have sold out. I mean, how many people are modelling that? Next to none, I'd wager. So yeah, I'm going to say J92, but the T1, T2, the WAF daisies, WAF marshalling yard shunters as well. They're another one I wouldn't mind seeing ready to run. But there's a lot of great Loco designs out there, and actually the more you delve into it, something like a Beams 082 London and North Western Railway Loco, there's a lot of really interesting locomotives that are yet to be made, ready to run. Ben Tollett says, talking of the cupboard monkey, where is Zoe tonight? She's not feeling very well, it has to be said. So she's downstairs having a nap. Humanisty Junction said, Jenny, what do you want to be when you grow up? Older? Tim JD Dowd, Leslie, I remember there was a feature in Steam Railway Mag years ago about the 8Fs. Yeah, a locomotive which I'm sadly missing. 8Fs and 9Fs. A Stanier 8F. I've got 3 of them in Hornby 00, but none in none of the new super detail Hornby ones. Now there is knocking about an LMS one you can get, but in all honesty I really want to get a BR one, but it's on my to get list, and actually strangely enough a 9F as well. I have 2 9F TTS sound chips, but not obviously a 9F because I don't own a 9F. So one of those things. Somerset Andy says, my Hornby Class 40 with TTS is mega loud. Yes, some of the TTS sound chips are actually quite good, and I think it's down to the shape of the speaker. The ones with that long rectangular shaped speaker are really good, but the ones with the circular speaker can be a bit miss. John Cragen says, Woodland Scenic in the US is completely separate from Bachman. Woodland Scenic is located in Lynn Creek, Missouri. In the US, they do their own marketing and sell products through hobby shops and their website. Brilliant. Woodland Scenics is a company I would love to work with. I think that some of their scenic products really are amazing. I got to use them when we filmed GMRC. But unfortunately in the UK, and I guess if I contacted them directly, they'd go, well, in the UK, you're going to have to go through Bachman. But I can't get a response out of Bachman, just like, and it's not just because, like, we don't like you, Jenny, because you smell of food. It's nothing to do with that. They're like this with everybody, apparently. Angus's Trains. Jenny, what hush hush should I order from my online model train shop? I personally went for the LNER version with the Yarrow water tube boiler because I think it's got an interesting shape. Makes it look very different, almost futuristic in a way. When it was rebuilt to look more like an A4, I think with that it's not different enough for me. I thought if I was going to buy a W1 Hush Hush, I wanted it in the original form. So that's what I personally went for. But it depends on whatever's your poison, as it were. And before you ask, well, what's the difference between the different versions that Hornby are listing? I don't know. The only differences that I know about are in the later A4 form that it was rebuilt into, and the earlier Yarrow water tube boiler, marine water tube boiler version. As to the different versions of that water tube boiler that Hornby are doing, I don't know what the difference is. Robert Ward, Jenny, I have sent you the link to my Model Railway Club website. You and Cupboard Monkey can visit at some point in the future. Thank you very much. We're certainly looking to do that once lockdown has lifted. The Growler Blackwood N-Gauge layout. Hunt Couplings will be bringing out the new 00 Elite coupler in N-Gauge very shortly. Understand final testing is nearly complete. Yes, I did see that as well. And certainly the Hunt Couplings are really great. I've not seen anything bad particularly said about them. And they are a great product. Yeah, Ham Shackleton definitely answering McBen Man 1. Jen's Man Mod, the only time she took it outside, the wind kept blowing the fire out. Very much, yeah, it was a bit of an issue on that. Leslie Gilpin says, has anyone reviewed the other brand of magnetic couplings? They introduced a double magnet coupling before Hunt. I've heard of there being another one. I've not seen it reviewed, I have to say. Kelly Ashford asks, hey, why isn't Rocket running? She must be itching to turn her wheel. Because she doesn't run very well. I did say that at the beginning of the stream. We will see some footage of her running in the Wednesday video, which is the full review. I'm just going to, one last whistle, and I'm going to turn the sound off for that schools class, because you've had your blast of steam sound, but it does get a bit repetitive. Right, Saber Darius says, hey all, just got off work at Train World, made it in time. Hope you're doing well, Jenny. I'm about to add sound to a couple of brass engines I bought. Oh my word. I must admit that sound I like sound. I have a love-hate relationship with sound. There's certainly brass locomotives now. That is the feel of quality at your fingertips. Skipsy Trains, hello! Hope you're all well. A big hello to Skipsy Trains. Great to see you in the chat. And Ham Shackleton, Jen has forgotten which switch does what point. Yeah, too right, I have. I am well behind here. Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider, customer service 101, and the lesson learned, kids, if you complain long enough, you get what you want. Actually, Hornby were great. I just sent them one message saying, explaining how it failed. And what I actually said was, look, it should be within the guarantee period. It was only at the time about 4 months old. I said, but I don't know where I bought it from because I buy from so many different model shops and I can't find the receipt. Is there anything I can do? And actually, Hornby just came straight back and said, oh, really sorry. Yes, what you've described shouldn't be able to do that. Give us an address, we'll send you out a replacement. That's actually what happened. So I didn't have to complain and complain. Hornby just went, yep, here's a replacement. We believe you. And you know, I wasn't trying it on, but it just showed great customer service. Right, Robert Ward says, Jenny, see your Facebook page. I'm going to have to take a look afterwards, it has to be said. I don't have the means to look at the Facebook page whilst I'm on the live stream, unfortunately. But I'm well behind because Kelly Ashford just said, yay, happy time. So that must be the point that I put the schools cross on and turn the sound on. Right. McBenman won us. Hi Jenny, do you have the schools class 925 Cheltenham? No, unfortunately, the only schools class I have is, I think it's Stowe. It's too far away from me to read, but it's in southern olive green and it's number 903. Right, I'm gonna. No, I don't want a torch. Oh gosh, you guys have been busy. Creeping James says, hello everybody. Helgen are going to make the Gas Turbine Locust. Yeah, the GT3 has been announced. I can't remember if it's a special commission or main range, but certainly there's some great new models announced, and certainly really excited by some of the things that Rails of Sheffield have been announcing. Northeastern Railway petrol electric rail car, class 89. They're currently looking for expressions of interest in that. That'll be with Acura Scale, but Acura Scale's announced the class 92. Hornby, we're waiting for the 91 as well. That's another one really interesting. So there's lots of great stuff coming through. GT3's been announced. I believe Fell was announced. Was that Avalex models? Was it KR models? Somebody has announced the Fell. And that was always the big joke. It's like, oh, when's somebody going to do the Fell? And then somebody did announce they were going to do the Fell. McBenman1 asks, hi Jenny, how was the 5-inch railway? It was absolutely brilliant. Crossways Point Junction on YouTube also. I think I've missed quite a lot of comments. So again, as I said before, I'm not intentionally missing out comments. They just come in so quickly that I start waxing lyrically, and before I know it, there's like 200-300 comments. It just does get unreal. Right, I'm going to go back a little bit. Kelly Ashford says, I love the whistle. It is actually quite a good whistle. I can't remember which sound chip is in there. It's not a schools class because I don't believe that Hornby do a TTS schools chip. But if they do, that one isn't it. It may be for the S15, something like that. Japa Goosh says, I love the Class 28 Metrovic. Actually, yeah, I've got a soft spot for that. I do actually have one somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So, I'm very carefully slide it out the door. Before anybody asks, no, I'm not going to run it. But there is my Class 28 Metrovic as D5701 in Rail Blue. I believe it's the only example to receive Rail Blue with the double arrow logo. Although there was at least one other that was in Rail Green that did get full yellow ends. My particular love for the Class 28 is quite simply because my father had one as part of his Hornby 00 from the 60s, which I then obviously became my childhood toy. It's still got that Loco somewhere, and it was always considered as being one of the poorer Hornby 00 models, but I always liked it. So when Helgen and Hattons announced they were collaborating on the Class 28, I had to have one, because I like Rail Blue, that's the one I went for. Somerset Andy, when you're out filming, Simon. Oh, sorry, there's someone saying, oh, actually, Stowe Southern. Ironically, Stowe Southern, that is the schools class that's going round. So, boom. J94 says, I've just looked up the J92. It is a good-looking Loco. Yeah, it's very, very different, isn't it? And Stowe Southern, does anyone know what colour the third-class coaches were for the Rocket era? I'm not sure that there were there third class. The only ones that I'm aware of are the blue ones, which are the second class, and the yellow-black ones, which are first class. So I'm guessing if there were third class, it's quite simply, here's an open wagon, stand in it. Let's have a look. Leslie Gilpin says Jenny is 15 minutes behind. Unfortunately, yeah, right. So we've also got Simon Trains MRS. The main channel. Thanks. I did used to put the model rail videos on the main channel, but decided to create a separate channel just for model rail. Yeah, as I said before, anybody who's got a YouTube channel, I'm quite happy for you to plug it once in the comments. I'm not like one of these people like, oh no, I will pull the ladder up after me. I do understand that certainly when you're a smaller channel, it can be very difficult to get noticed. So I'm quite happy for people to plug their own YouTube channel. Just don't spam it and spam it. Let's have a look. Somerset Andy says, Kelly, the Class 37s are awesome. Actually, 37s have grown on me, I have to say. And I've got, I think it's Econotrax sound chip in one of mine, and it's actually a really good sound chip. Look, I'm well behind on the comments. Where are we? Robert says, I buy an N big blow but put off by the non-standard coupling. Oh, so it's answer to so there's O O'Neill. Aha! Hello, O O'Neill. Hey, Jenny and everyone. I hope you're all well. I've just got in from work, so I've missed quite a lot of this. And don't worry about that. After the stream, obviously, it goes up as a regular video, so you can catch up on anything that you've missed. But certainly, O O'Neill, I do need to sort out. We'll do try and do a collaborative thing, maybe get you on the Monday Club at some point. At the moment, it's still very difficult because of lockdown rules, but hopefully easing from Saturday. Hopefully it'll make things a lot easier for things like model shops and stuff. But yeah, I haven't forgotten O O'Neill. We're gonna sort out getting you on at some point because I just love your channel. I think you've tapped into a vein of quality, interesting stuff there, and definitely one of the rising channels to take notice of, O O'Neill. So if you haven't spotted that channel, do go and take a look on YouTube after the stream, of course. Clive Cobbold says, hi Jenny, I'm waiting for Helgen new Class 860 electric locomotives and rail blue livery for my West Coast mainline layout set in the 1980s. I must admit, actually, the Helgen Class 86s, I don't have one, but I am warming to the idea of getting one. So I'm also interested when they come out as well. Tim J.D. Dowd, yeah, absolutely right. They were scrapping them before Steam finished the Metrovic. The Class 28 Metrovic was actually, it's amazing that one survives given how rubbish they were. And it was down to the reed valves in the engine. Now, they had a Blackstone, Lister Blackstone or Blackstone engine, which was an 8-cylinder, a straight 8 two-stroke diesel. And as we all know, 4-stroke cycle, suck, squeeze, bang, blow. 2-stroke does things rather differently, and as a result you have to have a different arrangement of valves, and basically these were reed valves. Anybody who doesn't know what a reed valve is, imagine a springy piece of metal which, if you suck against it, it opens, but if you blow back against it, it shuts. So it's like a one-way valve, and they used a special kind of spring steel for this. The trouble was they got metal fatigue, so they were actually snapping in the engine and causing catastrophic engine failure. And the problem was eventually overcome, and there was a similarly engined class of locos that went to the Irish State Railways. Actually lasted quite well. I think Australia had some locomotives with a similar power plant, and they made it work. But small, non-standard class, troublemaking, BR just decided, nope, not interested. But there is one that does survive. Right. I'm well behind again on the comments. Robertson says, go on Scale Train's website for more info. There's 3 different levels of detail: operator, little detail, rivet counter, and museum. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Stretch edits. I'm waiting for the Helgen Class 45. That looks a beast. Yeah, I'm interested actually as well. There are some tweaks. We've seen the EP, the tumble home where the roof meets the body side. I've seen some people saying it's not quite right. And so, yeah, I'll wait and see the finished model before I really come out on judge on that. 007 asks, what's your opinion on Parkside and Daycore wagon kits? Now, as I've said before, I'm not a fan of building wagon or locomotive kits. And the Daycore ones, I'm presuming you mean the plastic kits. I've seen them build up. In fact, there is actually, this is one of the Daycore, this is a Daycore flat roll with a, it's got a bogey load, but that is built up from the Daycore kit. So you can see they do build up into a really nice model if you do them properly, but I just hate building that kind of thing. So from what I've seen, they can be fettled into a pretty reasonable model. The Parkside kits as well. Nothing against them, it's just not something I enjoy doing. Jeff Unsworth, I will have what Kelly Ashford is drinking. She is steaming. Mike Hatton, Kelly Ashford, is that the Foxy that I got you when I worked at Fan Railway? Kelly Ashford says, not so be careful on my little engine Spooky will get you. Is that your 1361? Your is that a Helgen or a DJ Models one? It was the DJ Models from Colonel Model Centre in the Great Western Railway photographic grey. DL Warren says, I think the only Class 28 was only preserved by accident. Yeah, actually, it got marooned on its tow to the scrapyard in Swindon somehow. Not sure how you can accidentally forget to scrap a loco, but glad one got preserved nonetheless. I believe it was dumped somewhere at Swindon at the end of the siding. It was basically waiting for its tow to the scrapyard for whatever reason. It never happened. It survived an arson attempt where local scroats piled up cardboard underneath it and set fire to that. And what you've got to remember is that it still had a tank of diesel in it, so if it had caught fire, it would have gone up like a gigantic torch. Luckily, whilst there was damage to things like traction motors, it didn't actually set fire to that tank of diesel, otherwise it wouldn't have survived. And by the time they got around to towing it for scrap, it was early 80s, realised that actually this was quite a historic locomotive, and thankfully it went for preservation, initially at Peak Rail instead. Currently it's at East Lancs Railway and well on the way to being rebuilt. Jeff Unsworth, I'm thinking of a Sutton's Locomotive Works Class 24 of the Soldier Type 2 website. Anyone bought one? They look amazing. What I've heard is they are amazing. They are expensive. I don't have one. It has to be said. Let me just check. Where's... Oh, everything's still running through chain. I don't own one. I'm a little bit scared of the idea of ever buying one. The reason for this is because I know that everybody says they are amazing, but I don't want them to render my actually quite large fleet of Bachmann Class 24s and 25s obsolete. And that's what happened with my Class 3 shunters. Now, I've had 4 of the ex-mainline, ex-replica railway Bachmann Class 3 shunters with a split chassis, and I always thought, actually it's not too bad a model. Then Bachmann retooled, brought out Class 3 shunter, and the modern model just knocked the others for 6. And quite frankly, I bought one of the new Bachmann Class 3 shunters, and that day I gave away all of my previous old style split chassis Class 3s to my nephews. Went, here you are, take them. And there was that kind of level of difference. And there's a bit of me that's frightened that if I get a Sutton Locomotive Works Class 25 or Class 24, it will end up causing the same kind of reaction with a fleet that numbers to about, I think, Class 24 and 25 combined, I must have about 15, 16, and that's a lot of locomotives to render obsolete, so I don't. Clive Cobbold asks, Jenny, what is your favourite diesel locomotives? I really love the Helgen Class 7 diesel shunter, but I'm also a big fan of the Class 8s and also the Class 3s, the Class 4s. Helgen Class 5 is a great locomotive. I love shunting locomotives, small shunting locomotives. And I really do hope at some point that we see a really good ready-to-run model of the Class 6 shunter. I know we have that railroady thing from Hornby, which quite frankly doesn't look an awful lot like a real Class 6 in a great many areas. I want to see a proper detailed model of the Class 6, but also the Class 2 and the Class 1. Now the Class 2 shunters, some of those, I think 3 of them, lasted long enough to actually get tops numbers in rail blue. Class 1 shunters, by a quirk of fate, 01001 and 01002, did survive and get tops numbers, and were actually in BR Black with Cycling Lion, because they were marooned on the Anglesey Breakwater Railway. Johnny Dodger the Gamer says, can you run your Class 37, please? Class 37. Now, I don't make a habit of this. I always say that I don't like swapping stuff about, but as it's you, I'm going to put 37116 on the track, and she will fire straight up with sound. So there we go. In fact, let's put 3749 there, put that on the track. And what else have we got? 37431, there you are, that's every single Class 37 that I own on the track. So there you are. And I need to go 3716 to turn the sound off. There we are. So, 337s, I'm not going to run them because I'm not changing any more trains, but there you are, that's my full collection of 37s. I like transport. Class 37, let's celebrate! Oh, it doesn't actually... Oh, give me a moment. There we are. I can now hoot the horn and not have the engine noise. Wardle Rose says, right, I've got to shoot off. Busy day tomorrow. Thanks for the stream. Stay safe, all in chat. Thanks very much. And it's been great having you on. And like I said before, don't forget to look out for the 5-inch gauge railway video coming on Friday. And that came about thanks to the generous arrangements made by Ollie at Woodland Road. So you will see him in the video, and Tian as well. And we had a great day out. We really had the weather for it. In fact, we all got sunburned. And FYI, the cupboard monkey is not solar powered. Ask me how I know this. And she got sunburned and then spent the next 2 days in bed with heat stroke. So yeah, and Tian as well. I hope you're all right because you got very burnt as well. Jeff Unsworth says, bye Wardle, stretch edits. I sold off a load of older engines when I decided to go more towards DCC and sound, so the Sutton's Loco was my ultimate investment present. Nick Neumann, I've got the Daycore Drury shunter in kit form. I keep needing to make a start on it, but at the moment I'm a bit short on time. I have actually built that in the past. The thing I like about that, and also the XL&Y pub that they do, is that they are great for making scrap locos. I think they did a Hunslet Austerity Stroke J94 as well in kit form. I don't know, I've not seen that in the range for a long, long time, it must be said. But they're very good. You build these kits up and then weather and distress them. And I've used the XL&Y pub as one in industrial livery, and it's actually in the scrapyard on my exhibition layout, the Grove Street Yard. The Class 4 diesel shunter, I did one as a derelict one in rail blue livery, and I put the tops number on it. It was 04019, and I did it distressed and parked out of use, getting ready to go for scrap. It actually got stolen from my shed when I was broken into. It's one of the things they stole. Right, stupid idiot, thought it was a real loco. But hey, Ben Tullett, Jenny, have you enter your layout in the virtual model railway event next Saturday? Aha. I haven't actually got round to entering the layout. It's a matter of time, to be honest, more than anything. But I am featured. Yes, that's right. Glad you reminded me, actually. I was interviewed by Lawrence Robbins as part of the virtual model railway exhibition. Along with Simon Kohler and a number of other people. He did tell me that, Neil from Daycore as well has been interviewed. So you can watch those interviews, and I will be one of the interviewees on the virtual model railway exhibition. So what was I asked about? You'll have to watch the interview to find out, and that will be up on that weekend. Dave Don says, great stream again. Thanks, Dave, from Bolton Model Rail Society. Thank you very much. And like I said before as well to everybody, don't forget, War of the Worlds, you saw the video go up last Friday. That has been moved down to the Bolton Model Rail Society's club room down in the Bolton Marketplace. And I'm very, very honoured, actually, that they thought it was good enough to put it in pride of place in the window. So if you do go to the Bolton Marketplace shopping centre, you can actually see the War of the Worlds layout through the window. And it's not currently running, but it is fully set up, so you can see it in all its glory. And hopefully at some point Les Cliff will be able to get down there and give it a little bit of a tweak and a tidy up. And we'll get it running, and that'll be grand. Bolton Model Rail Society. Ooh, your ears must have been burning with me talking about it. Hi Jenny, just letting you know that we will be having public open days every Saturday starting the 4th of July, all COVID-19 and social distance safe, 10 AM to 5 PM. So yes, you can go and take a closer look at War of the Worlds at Bolton Marketplace, or Bolton Model Rail Society's club room that's in one of the shop units there, plus all of the other layouts that are on display. So that is one not to miss. Kelly Ashford, I don't like the horn of any diesel down my ears. The horn of a DMU I like a bit better. I'm not putting my sound DMU on the track. Jeff Unsworth, anyone any experience of Kerno Class 41 baby warship? Again, another model that I wouldn't mind getting one at some point. It is on my radar. No actual experience in it, but I have to say that I have not actually seen any bad points about it either, so that's probably pretty good. British Railways #Loco says, hi Jenny, hi to you. Game Hammer Classic Gaming says, Jenny says I'm not solar powered, but that's not entirely true. I have no problem with the sun, it has a problem with me. And Roger says, hi Jenny, do you know if the Wills white metal Loco kits are still available? I don't, I have to say. Well, Ben Tullett, Dave Arama's models. I bought the Bachmann model of the Central Trains 156, which is the local train that went to Birmingham. Cool. Humanistic Junction, Jenny, what is on your model railroad bucket list? As in what models that I want to get. Okay, I really want a Bachmann Class 40 in rail blue with tops number. That is very high on the list. I also would like a super detail 9F, either the Bachmann one or actually the Hornby one with the weird exhaust system. I could get behind that. A Stanier 8F, again the Hornby super detail version, I'm waiting for that to come out. What would be magic is if they did it with the late crest BR Black in one of the following running numbers: 48158, 48073, 48109 and 48094, which those amongst you who are up in the world of Hornby 00 will know that they are the 4 livery identities that the model carried in the Hornby 00 range. I think the Class 41 actually is something of interest to me. A Class 87 from Hornby, the new one. Class 86 from Helgen. The Class 77 from Helgen, that is another one which I keep intermittently having my eye on. So actually there's a lot of locomotives out there. In terms of steam locos that are available that I don't have, rebuilt Merchant Navy, or a rebuilt West Country class. Either of those I don't have, would really like to have. Clive Cobbold says, hi Jenny, good night from a wet Northern Ireland, see you next time, Clive. Thank you for joining us, but you stay safe. I know it's starting to get quite late, we're coming up on 8:45, so we're only going to be going for the next 15 minutes or so. We've still got 224 people in the stream. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click that like. Also, if you should happen to really enjoy the stream, there is no obligation to, but you can drop a tip in the jar, as it were, through that paypal.me link that's in the description down below. The reason for that is because Super Chat, Google takes a big cut, so that's why that's there, but you never feel obliged to. British Railways, #locos. I'm building my first ever layout on a base board. I have loads of locos that I've collected over 7 years. I can't wait to start the scenics and everything. I base my layout on the Hornby track map, which is a great starting point. And actually, if you look on YouTube, there's at least one channel where they've taken that very same track map as the starting point, and they've actually built it up, put on loads of scenery, and used it as a basis for what is actually a really great model railway. So it can be a great starting point. It also to be said that I heard, I think it was yesterday, from Enwins 3D. We did the review of the Hunslet and the Smokeless locomotive, and they're going to be launching a product soon, so stay tuned for that. But that again is something that's great for the new modeler as well. That's all I'm going to say about that. Donegal Dad, hi to you, great to see you as well. Richard Swiderski, sorry message missed out. Hi Jen, hope Zoe is better soon. Also, how is Les doing? Les is doing grand actually. Again, another person that I am really hoping to get on the Monday Club sooner rather than later. So I'll give a toot for that. God, that's loud, isn't it? Dave Arama's models. Right, I've got to shoot. Off to work tomorrow. Thank you for the stream, Jenny. You're a legend. Well, thank you very much. Oh, my ego is going to get too big to go down the stairs. But actually, we've been showing the same picture there, so let's get a few different shots around where yards. Liam's Trains and Railway videos. What Mark 1 carriages are they you've got going around with the Delta? They're not actually Mark 1. They're the Hornby Super Detail Southern Maunsell coaches, the first 3. Then there is a Mark 1 BG, which is a Hornby one, comes next, and then 3 Hornby Super Detail Hawkswood coaches. So that's what's actually going around behind the Deltic. Technically not prototypical, because that's an East Coast mainline Deltic. All apart from the Mark 1 BG. And actually, I think somebody did say that it appeared more in the maroon era, but I don't have a rated fully maroon coaches, so it looks nice enough on that. J94, Jenny, what would you say the Hornby Q1 is a nice loco to run? So it's not spamming, don't worry about it. The Q1 is a great locomotive. It is actually one of my... It's up there probably in the top 10 of my favourite locos. I've actually run it too much, as it were. The connecting rods are getting a lot of slack on them, so I try and run it as little as possible these days. But yeah, that is a great loco. I do like the Q1. Chris Hales, Heritage Railway, have to go now too. Thanks. Things to do before bed. Thanks, Jenny. Get well soon, Zoe, and bye to all. I always feel so honoured that all you guys spend time here on the Monday Club. And look, you take care, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. But we're still going actually 15 minutes. I just realised that sounded like I was signing off. I'm not quite yet. But Cozzy118 BMK says, "Hi Jenny, the famous lady off the TV. It's Jenny from the telly." Yep, that's correct. I did do Biggest Little Railway and Great Model Railway Challenge, and I can't tell you too much, but there is another TV project in the pipeline, potentially two actually, but there's one that I am involved in the pilot, which is not an aired pilot, but there's a pilot which is to try and get commissioned for a series, and I am involved in that. So fingers crossed that all works out. Don't ask what it is because I can't tell you, but it's going to be great if it does get commissioned. So as soon as I am allowed to tell you anything about that TV project, I will tell you. Ronald Morris, check out O O'Neill. He's been making some great 3D items on the channel. Yeah, I'm saying O O'Neill. It's a great channel, and actually some great engagement as well. So it's one definitely to watch. And I'm going to try and get Tristram, aka O O'Neill, on the channel as well. Love to get him on as a guest. The Monday Club, of course, at the moment, still got social distancing, but we're going to work something out in the near future, hopefully, fingers crossed. Crossways Point Junction, are you going to be flying planes then? No, I've never flown a plane myself. No. Not really my thing. I've flown in planes, but can't say I'm a plane person. Zoe is. The Cupboard Monkey loves the idea of flying planes. Game Hammer Classic Gaming, aka the Cupboard Monkey, I have to say. What Jenny isn't telling you about the new TV shows that she's doing a sponsored silence as a special episode. They're going to time how long she can sit and say nothing. Oh, ha ha. Yes. Rachel is heading off as well. Many Westhampton Junction. Bye everyone, stay safe, take care. And you take care too. I know a lot of people start to drift away now. It is getting a bit late and it is a school night too. Quite literally as well, because businesses are starting to ramp on up, which is a good thing actually. It's really good that the economy is getting going again. We've just got to stay safe. And remember, you must remember still social distancing, masks in public, certainly on public transport. Anywhere close proximity, if in doubt, get the mask out, and plenty of washing your hands. You can never wash your hands too much. Shut up, Cupboard Monkey. And sanitizer as well. Just like cleanliness is a good thing to do, and we will all stay safe and get through this. Matthew Dunmo, hey Jenny, I picked up my Hornby rocket today. Unfortunately then I got it home. One of the wires that connect the Loco and the tender had come loose. Yeah, I talk about that in my review. I think that the connector between the Loco and tender in the Hornby rocket set is a retrograde step compared with some of their newer CDB Locos. That connecting bar should be semi-permanently attached. Otherwise, it is all too easy to rip those wires apart, as has just been said. So definitely, that did lose it a few marks. And when you think a lot of the new Super Detail models are coming with that coupling bar sorted, why are we getting it going back on this? I really don't know. But other than that, it is a great Loco, has to be said. So I'm really glad that that's come through. Keep your eye on the rails of Sheffield second-class coaches. They have sold out this first batch, but that doesn't mean that you're going to miss out. They will most likely be doing another batch, so do keep your eyes skinned for that. Jeff Unsworth says, apart from eBay profiteers, are there any rockets for sale? Now, what I'll say on that is that I think a lot of the gouges are getting burned. The prices are dropping fast. And in all honesty, I think that if you want to get the main range version, this version, I believe there are a few shops that have unsold stock out there, so hunt around and you may get lucky. Or alternatively, wait a little bit, then you may find that suddenly stock does reappear that probably was squirreled away by gougers, and then they found they couldn't sell them. So I think they are out there. Tim J.D. Dowd, welcome back. Had to feed the cat and put us in bed. J. Paul Anderson, hi to you. Good night, ladies. Thanks again, Jenny. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you very much. Robert says Zoe Gronk's Unlimited. Yeah, lots of you can put all the guesses you want. I'm not allowed to tell you what the new TV series is about. Skipsy Trains, Jenny, I love this gathering. Working away from home is great. We can all come together for a chat, and that was actually the whole purpose really of the Monday Club, and it's why we kind of took it big time through the lockdown. And certainly I know there's a lot of other great channels doing live stream. You can check out the live stream program guide on my website as well, and it just gives you an idea of some of the other great live streams out there helping to keep the community connected. Crossways Point Junction, thanks Jenny, I will definitely be here next week. Thank you very much, and don't forget to tell all the people you know, get as many people as you can, and it'd be great to see the Monday Club grow and grow. I know it makes it a bit difficult keeping up with the comments, but the more the Monday Club grows, the more the channel grows, the more people we can help keep together in this community. And as I've said before, I'm always a big advocate of helping the smaller channels as well, so don't forget to check out O'Neill, great channel, one to watch. Mouldy Raspberry, if you just want to watch trains going by through some dramatic scenery, Mouldy Raspberry is a great channel. Cottesmore as well, if you're into the modern image and everything Arriva Trains Wales, do check out Cottesmore. Wardle Road, Ollie has some great content, and also the Ollie's live stream tomorrow night. Don't forget to check in on that and tell him that I sent you. FMR Model Railway, Family Model Railway, some great content on there as well. They're the ones that immediately spring to mind. But also we've got some of the regular contributors. With the Cupboard Monkey not feeling well, we've not got time to do any of your model railway footage. We're going to save that, carry it over to next week. But thank you to anybody who's been sending that in, and also thank you very much to anybody who has donated on the PayPal.me link. I will find a way of how to track that so I can personally thank people in the stream, but thank you very much. Your donations do help keep the channel running. And also a big thank you to Woodland Scenic, who do sponsor the live stream. You'll find a link to their website down below, and they do a great range of all things static grass. We've done some videos recently, the flower dressing kit, bring life to a wild static grass and a bit of colour. But also they do static grass applicators, and one of the things, I'm going to get it out actually, they sent recently a whole range of static grass applicators. I've got this feeling that I've now got the full range. So Woodland Scenic, the Pro Grass Micro, which is a great all-rounder for static grass application. Put that to one side. And this is the Pro Grass Applicator. This really is bring out the big boys. This, with interchangeable nozzles, is a great way of covering a huge area quickly. With different nozzles you can get different effects, and also this allows you to apply up to 12mm long grass. So certainly great for some of the bigger scales, but also in smaller scales, great for some really long unkept grass. I'm actually quite interested in using this to try and get some effect. Like for example, fields of wheat would be a good one to try and do, and I believe that this is the static grass applicator to enable you to do that. And then also got the Pro Grass Detailer, and this is great for those little nooks and crannies where you need real precision for applying your static grass. So it comes with two interchangeable nozzles, really small for getting that tight detail, and a slightly bigger one, and this is great for getting into those hard to reach areas that the other grass applicators can't reach. So they're all supplied through Woodland Scenic. Check out the link down below. Don Cragen says, thanks for the chat today, hope Zoe feels better soon. Game Hammer Classic Game, that is actually Zoe and the cupboard monkey. Jenny loves her static grass applications, doesn't she? Oh yes. Shawning, and always fantastic show, Jenny. Get well soon, Zoe, and I hope to see you both again next week. Thank you very much. I like transport. That is absolutely fine. So sorry I missed you out. I was trying off the top of my head to list all the things. I'm going to be cheeky and plug my channel. That's absolutely fine. As I said before, I am quite happy for you all to plug your own channels. I don't believe in this exclusivity where people go, oh no, I'm going to pull the ladder up after me. I know how hard it is to get noticed on YouTube. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and people look and say, nearly 11,000 subscribers. That took a lot of work and time for it to build up, and it is hard, and there is a lot of luck involved, and nothing actually helps better than being helped out, given a hand up by a bigger channel. So which is why I'm always keen to get other smaller YouTubers on as guests, and try and big up other channels. I think it's important. This is a community after all. What are the comments that we got here? Guardian says, when I get the baseboards, I will be building my layout and videoing it for my channel. Belmont Junction, good night Jenny and Zoe, stay safe and good night everyone. British Railway Loco says, do you know Sam's Trains? I do actually, yes, I am well aware of Sam's Trains, and another channel on YouTube, a lot bigger than me. I don't know whether he's ever mentioned me, but I'm happy to mention Sam's Trains. So if you want to watch a model train running in a paddling pool, that's your first port of call. But hey, anyway, we're going to round this up. I'm watching the clock. We're coming up to 9 o'clock, so it just... I'm coming up to the top of the hour, so I have to say, Crossroads Point Judge, have you subscribed to my channel today? I do not say who I am subscribed to because I think that it is unfair. I am not subscribed to everybody because I simply don't have the time to watch lots of channels. I think it would be unfair to say who I am subscribed to. I think some people might get disappointed, some people might be surprised. What I will say is that a lot of the channels I do subscribe to and watch, but I do have time, I don't have a lot of time, are actually not model railway related. I watch a lot of Hoover's Garage. Tyler Hoover, he's the man. And also Big Clive, who does the anatomy of dodgy electronic stuff. So yeah, I do watch a lot of other channels. I say a lot, I don't have a lot of time, but I don't as a rule reveal who I am and aren't subscribed to. There are some small channels I subscribe to, there's some large ones as well. But look, good night everyone. I have a Crossways Point Judge, so that's okay, just have a look. I have had a look at people who have actually sent me links to stuff. I do take a look, and certainly if you want to send links in for next week, we do the virtual model railway tour. If you want to link to videos of your model railway on your YouTube channel, send the link, not the video, but the link to Zoe at zoerobinson.com, and that's the best way to actually get your model railway featured here on the Jenny Monday Club. I know, sorry we haven't been able to do that this week. So a big thank you to you all. Look, do take care, and certainly it's something that I really enjoy hanging out with you, and I always feel greatly honoured that you guys take time out of your busy schedule to come and watch me on a Monday night. We've got a great vibe going, and it gives me a chance to show off where you are a little bit, get it running, and you all take great care of yourself. Stay safe, really important, and I hope to see you here again. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It's the best way that you can show love to any YouTube channel, is to like, share and subscribe if you want to see more of the great content that's on there. But it's just for me now, Jenny Kirk, to say thanks for watching, take great care, bye for now. This is now the awkward bit where I try and work out what the cupboard monkey normally does. So talk amongst yourselves there now, and yeah, I guess I have to click a button somewhere.
You'll have to click the on-screen button on Alt.
So